Court today heard oral arguments in a case that could ban TikTok in the United States in less than 2 weeks. And Congress labeled the app a national security risk. It's owned by a Chinese company. Lawmakers passed a bill to outlaw TikTok in the U.S. unless it divests from that parent company, ByteDance. And there's at least one offer on the table as well, which is interesting as part of this. Billionaire investors, LA Dodgers owner Frank McCourt and Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank fame reportedly sending in a proposal to ByteDance to acquire TikTok. The justices, at the Supreme Court today heard from lawyers that represent the company and also heard from video creators who've made their careers through the platforms. A lot of people who do that. Several of the justices appeared to be open to upholding the ban, though, over the security concerns. That was kind of the read from Supreme Court experts. Now, Isabel Brown joins us. Isabel's a TikTok content creator. She's garnered a following. I think it's 500,000 plus, right, on TikTok. And talking about how people make a living, because sometimes we get so caught up in this discussion of, should we ban the app? Well, kids are using it to make videos and stuff. You make a living. Is that fair to say on TikTok?
Thanks so much for having me, and not just in isolation on TikTok. I am a full-time content creator across social media platforms.
But it's a big part of it, in other words, right?
Absolutely. But, what's fascinating is this conversation unfolding provides such a multifaceted approach to the need to uphold freedom of expression rights for all Americans from all backgrounds, not just on this platform, but across the board. Interestingly, though, Congress seems to have singled out TikTok as a security concern for national security in the United States. And yet we have documented examples of Meta selling your data to the CCP, to Russia, and other potential foreign adversaries. Airbnb has been known to sell your data to the CCP. Our devices are largely made in China, and there are a multifaceted approach to other concerns there. So I have a hard time believing this is really about national security, particularly because if TikTok ceases to operate in America come January 19th, the data of 170 plus million Americans still rests with TikTok for those of us that have already been using the platform.
Right. It is kind of an interesting back and forth on this. It reminds me a little bit of Huawei. I was actually, when we were covering, this is a Chinese telecom company. Actually, I was in China, this is years ago, and went to their headquarters and interviewed their executives. And that was partially what, as you articulated, their point at the time. Whereas in America, a lot of people say, well, this is a Chinese company, it's dangerous, and the Communist Party could come in at any time and request the data. It's tough to tell if that would ever happen because you don't necessarily have the evidence of that happening, but the threat is the same. And I wonder for you, you think about it, you're a content creator, right? So you, as you said, it's not just TikTok. If they do deem this a national security risk, right, you have other platforms and something else will probably pop up that is TikTok, or maybe it comes back in a few months as an American company. I mean, I don't know if it's just the end of the road that's going to bankrupt people like you that are using it. What do you say?
I hear that counter concern quite often, and certainly is an interesting thought, but I would like to proffer this.
Okay.
Unlike every other social media platform based here in the United States, TikTok has attracted over 2 billion users across the world, nearly 200 million of whom are American citizens using the platform almost every single day, not just as a place to watch silly get ready with me videos or to show your outfit that you're planning to wear on your first date, but even for Gen Z as the #1 search engine for America's next generation of adults, even above Google. I don't find it coincidental at all that Donald Trump, for example, captured the majority of the young male youth vote solely because of TikTok and the conversations that are happening from an authentic, transparent, grassroots viewpoint on that platform that don't seem to exist on Meta platforms, for example, where we just learned today with Mark Zuckerberg's appearance on Joe Rogan that the federal government of the United States can call up American social media companies to demand that anything critical of COVID policies or a particular son of the president's laptop,
like a national security concern, is that what he said on the right? This is a very, very interesting conversation. I feel like we're going to keep having it. Thanks for coming on today. We'll see how this kind of plays through the courts, and then we have to get back to our fire coverage right now. But let's keep this going, okay? Because thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.